Errol Spence has new management. And I want to start off by saying, because I already heard the rebuttals. The guy he signed to, he already knew the guy and blah, blah, blah. That's irrelevant. He has new management. It doesn't matter if he knew the guy and how long he knew the guy. The fact is that he's now signed to the guy for a management contract, which could only mean two things. Either Errol Spence fired his old manager and went to this guy, or Errol Spence did not have a manager and now he does. That's it. That's what that means. Either the old manager or who was ever in control of those duties has been relieved, or this is his first time having a manager because he believes someone needs to be in control of those duties. Has nothing to do with the friendship, has nothing to do with the relationship. Now, does that mean that there's trouble in paradise? Sure, there's trouble in paradise. It should. Again, if we dress the business of boxing, I have a video on this page, and I said boxing has moved on without Errol Spence. This was prior to the Terrence Crawford fight being announced. And I meant it. I wasn't speaking from an emotional or even hating on Errol Spence, right? The way I feel about Errol Spence is the way I feel. I've researched it. But this had nothing to do with hate. This had to do with, hey, look at everybody else getting things out of boxing. Look at Fulton getting Inoue. Look at Fury and Wilder getting in there and mixing it up. And then Al Heyman gets his hands on Tank Davis, and the guy has 3 fights in a time where Errol Spence has none. And Tank Davis is breaking pay-per-view records, or recent pay-per-view records, you know what I mean. He broke a gate record, right? But he's doing 1 million pay-per-views, which we thought that was in the past, with Ryan Garcia. And they're on stage arguing if he's the new face of boxing. And then I'm saying, hold on. What happened to the big fish? So you want the big fish to fight Keith Thurman for peanuts while you play with your new toy, Tank Davis. And I said, Al Heyman has a new toy. I also say Derrick James has a new toy because it's true, okay? Derrick James is going to make more money off of Anthony Joshua, off of training Anthony Joshua, than he will off of Errol Spence. Probably not now that he's fighting Terrence Crawford, but had he went to fight Keith Thurman, okay? Derrick James is not an idiot. He probably has a personal relationship with Errol Spence, and that's fine, but he knows, who's going to buy him a new house or a new car, okay? If I'm making 10% or 25% of $5 million, it's nice. Don't get me wrong, it's great money. But if he's making 10% or 25% of $25 million with Anthony Joshua, oh, that's a big difference, ain't it? Okay? So that's what I was addressing. And now that we see the new management, we have to ask ourselves. One, I think Errol Spence is doing the right thing. I think there needed to be a buffer, especially at this age, between him and Al Heyman. Because a promoter's job is to promote you and to the point where you're no longer needed, and then they'll try to feed you to a younger person. Or they'll try to get rid of you. As long as you are an asset, you're an asset, right? As long as you're an asset, you're their best friend. They're calling you, Al may tell you he love you. I don't know, what have you. But once you become a liability, then you're a problem. Then the same antics, the same things you used to do before that were okay, now they're annoying. Errol Spence, like it or not, like it, love it, hate him, he's 33 years old. He's crossing over to become a liability. Tank Davis is younger, more popular, and Al's probably going to roll with him. The same thing he did with Earl when he wasn't that guy. When he had Keith Thurman, Earl couldn't fight Keith Thurman. And then Earl becomes that guy, and look how he treats Keith Thurman. It's all transactional. So hopefully the management is to benefit him. But there's definitely trouble in paradise. Right? It may not be scorched earth or burned bridges or anything, but it's common sense. I'm out.